Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thank you so much for tuning in here Friday, June 27th. And we've got a show today, one of those ones where it's like I don't love talking about this, but talked about the weaknesses of the Jaguars earlier in the week and what I perceive as the weaknesses from a position group standpoint. There's one weakness that we didn't really touch on there because it's not like a specific position group. Really, it's honestly like a characteristic that a lot of the players on the team kind of have or have had that can lead to losses in the NFL and in football in general. And so it's something that we need to think about and talk about, and that's fumbles. The Jaguars' skill group offensively, there's a number of guys who have fumbled the ball quite a bit. And so we're going to talk about that here today. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a ton. It's also the final day of our summer sale over on GenJag.com, which means 50% off everything on the website today. GenJag.com, code DUVAL with 3 U's. That's DUUUVAL for 50% off at GenJag.com/shop. Go check it out. Trying to clear out some inventory for this upcoming season. So again, fumbles have been an issue. We'll start with Trevor Lawrence. Looking at, his kind of history of fumbling the ball quite a bit, and that's literally not figuratively, right? He does not have an interception issue. We've talked about that. He does have a issue, or has had an issue, fumbling. He has 37 fumbles in his career, 4 seasons. Obviously missed some time the last couple years. So I will give Trevor Lawrence a lot of credit. Last year, he buttoned it up in a big way. He had 3 fumbles, right? 3 fumbles. For a quarterback, that's not a lot. Like, quarterbacks fumble the ball. It's something that is very common, whether it be trying to get a pass off, a strip sack. Every quarterback fumbles the ball to an extent. 3 fumbles in a season is very good. Obviously, he missed a good amount of time last year. He only played in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and change games, right? So if you extrapolate that over a full season, you're probably talking about like 5 or 6 fumbles, which is still well within a reasonable range. 2022 and 2023, he had 12 fumbles in 2022. 13 fumbles in 2023. In 2021, he had 9. So, you look at those numbers, and those are not good. Those are really unacceptable, quite honestly. Again, he buttoned it up a lot last year when it comes to the fumbles. Now, were there some, specifically like the Green Bay one, right? Late in the game was disappointing, but that happens. That absolutely happens in this league. So I would say, again, in fumbling, like if you have a team epidemic of fumbling, that can really lead to difficult game situations and losing football games. Last year, Trevor Lawrence did not have a fumbling issue. Overall, his ball security last year, I think, was fairly positive. But it has been an issue in the past, and it's something he's going to need to continue to work at. And the coaching staff is going to continue to need to work at. You just can't let it go. It has to be front of mind consistently, while also not inhibiting you from playing loose and playing your best football and playing free. So it's a tightrope act in the NFL. It really is. To play your best ball while also taking care of the football. It's not easy. But that's what Trevor Lawrence has to do this year. And he showed last year that he can take care of the ball from a fumbling perspective. This year, it's just got to be more of that, but more of the high level play that you saw in 2022 and 2023 as well. So he's in a good situation, in my opinion, to be able to do that more consistently with the talent around him and with the coaching staff. But that's something he's got to work on and continue to just make sure he's doing his best. Because last year, it was much improved in terms of the fumbling. Now, another player who in the past has had fumbling issues is Travis Etienne. During his pseudo rookie year in 2022, obviously missed 2021 with the Liz Frank. He had 5 fumbles, way too many. Over the last 2 seasons, however, he has only fumbled the ball once. Everyone does like to point out that was week 1 against Miami last year, and it was a situation where he was running into the end zone, close to it anyways, and that would have sealed the deal against the Dolphins. And the whole season would have been completely different if you beat the Dolphins. No, it wouldn't have. So I think he's cleared that up, but it's something that was an issue at one point in his career. He's cleaned it up. So those are 2 players that in the past have had a fumbling issue. That if you're not vigilant, that if you're not focused on it, if you're not dotting your I's and crossing your T's, it could creep back up. The bigger issue for me is that 2 of your running backs and 1 of your top 3 receivers have shown fumbling issues as recently as last year, right? Ball security issues. Now, I don't have much concern when it comes to the fumbling ball security stuff with Brian Thomas Jr. or Travis Hunter, but you look at De'Ami Brown, he fumbled the ball 3 times last year. That's obviously just way too much. I mean, you can't be fumbling the ball like that. 3 fumbles, right? In what? 44 catches. And looking at his rushing. And 3 runs. So 47 touches and 3 fumbles. That is, that's horrible. That cannot happen again. So that's a little worrisome. And you say, he hasn't fumbled the rest of his career. He hasn't had a lot of snaps the rest of his career. He hasn't been a featured target, and he wasn't even really a featured target last year. That's gotta be better. You can't have 3 fumbles from a receiver. And then you look at your running backs that have fumbling issues. Obviously, we talked about ETN in the past, but being able to clean it up. And fumbling is something ball security is something you can work on. We've seen it with Travis Etienne. We've seen it with Trevor Lawrence. You've seen a ton of running backs throughout their careers at one point have a fumbling issue and clean it up. Throughout NFL history, it happens all the time where a guy fumbles the ball too much, but then he gets it cleaned up, right? So this is not to say that the Jaguars cannot overcome what is on paper an issue, potential issue. But they got to be vigilant. They've got to coach it up. They've got to want to, right? So in Tank Bigsby's first 2 years in the league, he has 5 fumbles on 218 rushes, which is way too much. He's also really struggled trying to catch the ball out of the backfield in limited opportunities. So, having a fumble every 40 carries is just unacceptable, right? He's got to clean that up, and I think he has the ability to do that. Tank Bigsby is a player who in college, go back to his time at Auburn, he had some fumbling issues early on in his career. In 2021, he fumbled the ball 4 times. In 2022, he cleaned it up. He only fumbled the ball 1 time. So, again, this is something you can clean up, but it needs to happen. And the thing about Tank is he had more fumbles in his second year in the league than his first year in the league, obviously on more attempts as well. But you've just got to be better at ball security if you're Tank Bigsby. And then the running back that everyone's really excited about for the future, and I think reasonably so, his skill set is very exciting, Bashal Tutin. He has like about 350 rushes over the last couple years and 9 fumbles. That's just that'll. I mean, to his credit, he has 25 rushing touchdowns over those 2 seasons and a ton of yards and forced missed tackles and long runs, and he's definitely been more of a positive than a negative. But the fumbling it's too much, too many fumbles. So again, this is a group where you look at Dyami Brown, Bashal Tootin, Tank Bixby, all have had fumbling issues as recently as last year. Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne have had past fumbling issues and both had some untimely fumbles last year. This coaching staff and this team has to be aware of that issue and make sure it does not creep up, because that can lose you a football game in a flash, right? Unforced errors, fumbling the ball. And I know defensively, this group, coached obviously by Anthony Campanile, is very focused on punching the ball out. And I know offensively they are working the ball security stuff, but I think it has to be like an extra layer of focus, of communication, of pride to not let that ball hit the ground. I mean, when you're letting the ball hit the ground, you're letting wins away, right? Get away. You're costing yourself money. You're costing your teammates money, right? Like, you cannot fumble the ball. And it's going to happen, right? But it can't happen at the clip that it's happened for some of these guys lately. And obviously, Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence earlier in their careers. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out. There's a lot of guys with a lot of fumbling history on the Jaguars roster right now. I do think the fact that your 2 top targets receiving-wise are Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter is a good thing when it comes to ball security. I think BTJ double caught it a little bit too much last year, but he did not let the ball hit the ground from a fumbling perspective, and really he didn't have too many drops either for how much he was targeted. So be vigilant, stay focused, keep on it, and you'll probably be okay, because you see players and teams all the time have fumbling issue and then clean it up and not have a fumbling issue. You've seen Travis Etienne do it. You've seen Trevor Lawrence improve on it. Got to keep it going. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.